Now, are you done, or will you have more children? Do you want more children?
Maybe.
Does Kim want more children?
Hey guys, what is happening, and welcome back to our channel. As we all know, Ellen DeGeneres isn't really popular these days. But these are some of the moments before her being cancelled which alluded to how rude and unbearable she was. And these people were not willing to stand for it. Here are the top 10 times celebs clapped back at Ellen. Number 10, Kylie Jenner. This was a rather hostile dispute between the two, with both of them arguing to the point of bickering, both of them unwilling to move from their stances. Kylie took to the camera saying that she was a traditionalist and traditions deemed that a man must get married to a woman and vice versa. Ellen was not having any of this, and this led to an increasingly broadcasted dispute between the two, as both of them took each other's words to be derogatory and insulting. Jenner was at least more apologetic afterward, saying that she was fine with the same gender marriage thing now, and even offered to dance to Ellen at a party, which Ellen rejected.
Most people in the audience, you know, I mean, I kind of like tradition, and, you know, it's always been a man and a woman. And I'm thinking, I don't quite get it.
Number 9, Wanda Sykes. This was by far the most awkward segment on the show's absurdly long history to date. No other guest has in fact overruled this as the worst moment in the show's evil history, although both parties were at fault. Ellen can cook, big surprise, but it was Wanda who was getting increasingly agitated as the segment progressed. It went from "Can you cook, Ellen?" to "What you made looks like dog food." It was a heated exchange between the two, with Nicole Kidman watching fondly from the middle. Ellen was making things worse by doing more stupid things when preparing the dish and further agitating Wanda, who we now know doesn't care for someone who cannot help her out in the kitchen.
No, I'm not.
It's Nicole. Have you made meatballs or anything? Just look. Go ahead.
This is a family-friendly.
Number 8, Drew Barrymore. This was a more off-screen diss, though it was painfully apparent that in fact there was some heat and resolved arguments between the two. They were the co-hosts once upon a time of an obscure reality show, a project that was soon dropped. But the bitter taste in their mouths remained for quite some time. They kept fighting with each other over who was the better host, over who could get more screen time, and who had the larger fan base. They could not get along, off and on screen, no matter the time. After all these years, it's painfully apparent that they hate each other.
As a kid, I felt like I should be older because I was like working and it just not being really a kid. And then when I was in...
Number 7, Michelle Obama. These two have had a complicated relationship whenever Michelle has come on the show. Michelle, well, was not being given the respect she was due during a shopping segment on The Ellen Show. It was during this time when Ellen was behaving rather foolishly, dropping stuff on the ground, getting into the shopping cart, and making the day unbearable for Michelle. It was a huge headache to watch, especially as Ellen kept up her jokes and annoying behavior despite it being obvious that Michelle had had enough. That's when we know that Ellen has lost a good guest for years to come. It's how she loses a lot of guests by choosing not to restrain herself and just be the star in every moment there is, like a 4-year-old jealous of his newborn brother.
The world happy every
should
day.
have freed some slaves. You know, you're really annoying. It's like taking a 3-year-old to the store.
Number 6, Wanda Sykes. Wanda Sykes is one witty person. This was apparent while she was a guest on Ellen's show. She called Ellen out on her relatively obscure tours, a string of shows that she calls tours. For a stand-up comedian, a tour is a months-long journey to one or several different states or even abroad. Ellen's tour, however, consisted of 4 shows, all of them in California and all of them in the West Coast. She never had to leave the West Coast. She was doing shows in her backyard all this time, and Wanda Sykes called her out on it. Ellen could do more than laugh, excusing herself, saying that she couldn't travel, that she was too busy. The truth being that she was far too lazy, and most people outside the West Coast don't even think she's funny.
Three of the cities is in California. What the hell? What the hell?
I was very busy.
Number 5, Justin Timberlake. Ellen was really embarrassed with this little hassle between herself and the icon Justin Timberlake. Ellen sent Justin a video of herself singing the lyrics of one of his most renowned songs. However, she butchered both the songs and its lyrics by adding the word electricity to it. The fans in the studio were howling in laughter alongside Justin Timberlake and everyone else. She was red and had her face in her hands. She never attempted another song again. This moment could explain why Ellen doesn't have a carpool karaoke session, or why Ellen is always angry at singers when they're on the show.
My favorite was you're like, just electric, just electric, just electric. I was like, that's not the word.
Number 4, Cher. Once again, an awkward segment where Ellen refused to listen to her guest, kept being the most painful nuisance there could ever be, alongside losing another guest. This was another Jonna De Laurentiis or Michelle Obama situation where Ellen kept aggravating the guest despite the guest making it clear that Ellen was crossing the line. Ellen took the two guests to a hair salon where she forced them to try on stupid things, kept attacking them with water, and bombarding her with her nonsensical jokes. By the end of the segment, they had had enough. They were almost forced to say goodbye to Ellen on the way out, with Ellen saying, "This brought us closer." Her statement met with awkward silence and crickets chirping.
No, you want it wet. You want it wet.
I don't want it wet.
No, you do. You have to start.
Number 3, Kathy Griffin. Another off-screen battle. What happened was, at that point in time in Hollywood, Ellen DeGeneres being an incarnation of the devil was not common knowledge. It was a select few that knew about her being absolutely evil, including Kathy Griffin. Griffin was also the one to let this be known in her book, and Ellen didn't like this at all. Their resentment for one another could also be seen when Kathy was a guest on the show, with them going back and forth. That after the book was published, Ellen called her up and screamed at her, driving Kathy to tears.
On a rant, because I had mentioned on your show that, I wish that women would support each other more, in particular super influential women. They're so
Number 2, Katy Perry. This one is very simple. Katy was alluding to her wanting to get married again, to which Ellen was like, huh? And Katy made her recall how she was once getting married to Russell Brand, and how once she was invited to Ellen, and how she was given gifts on the show for her wedding with Russell a few years ago. Yep, Ellen forgot. Not going to have her hear the end of it.
Not married.
I was when I was 25.
Number 1, Dakota Johnson. Dakota invited Ellen. Ellen never showed up. What happened was Ellen claimed that she was not invited to Dakota's 30th birthday. Dakota said she was, and Ellen just never showed. After which, Dakota went on to say that Tig Notaro was her favorite comedian. Man, the expression on Ellen's face.
How was the party? I wasn't invited.
Actually, no, that's not the truth, Ellen. You were invited.
If we've missed out any other clapback moments from other celebrities against Ellen, do let us know in the comments section below, while also liking this video and subscribing to our channel if you haven't already, to get the drop on more awesome content from our channel in the future. Until next time, guys, take care and goodbye.